Dear students, a very good morning. Today we are going to talk about Robert Browning's poem The Last Ride Together. The first three parts of this poem we have already discussed. So today we are going to talk about the remaining two stanzas of this poem. So let me brief about the part which we have already discussed. This poem, as you all know, is in the form of a dramatic monologue. Monologue is the narrative which is given by a single speaker. Dramatic because it is not reflecting the stage performance, but the way the situations or the incidents are narrated, it appears as if they are happening before your eyes. That's why it is called to be the dramatic monologue. Okay, so let me brief it. Uh, this poem actually talks about, as the name indicates, the last ride together. The last ride of whom and with whom? It is talking about the last ride which a rejected lover has asked from his beloved. He is an idealist because though he has been rejected in his love, but he is not able to curse his beloved. He gives her the blessings. But he says that he wants to undertake a last ride with her so that he can cherish this memory of the last ride with his beloved forever and ever. So he in the previous stanzas he talks about his love. He says that he has failed, no doubt, in his in his love attempts, but still the reward he is getting in the form of the last ride with his beloved is far much better than the lot or the fate of various soldiers, statesmen, poets, and various other people. He compares his love with that. So let us come to the next stanza of this poem. Who knows what is fit for us? Had fate proposed bliss here should sublimate my being, had I signed the bond. Still one must lead some life beyond, have a bliss to die with, dim described this foot once planted on the goal, this glory garland round my soul. Could I descry such? Try and test. I sink back, shuddering from the quest. Earth being so good, would heaven seem best. Now, heaven and she are beyond this right. So, in these lines, he says, who knows what is fit for us? Nobody can predict. Only the God can predict what good things are going to happen with us. Who knows what is really good for us to have in this world? Had fate proposed bliss here should sublimate my being. Proposed, decreed, ordained bliss, happiness here in this life. Sublimate. Sublimate means to raise to supreme height. So proposed bliss here should sublimate my being. Maybe this kind of ride that I am taking with my beloved is the supreme happiness, which will lead me towards perfection. Had I signed the bond? Signed a bond? Signed a contract with fate for perfect happiness here in this life. Still, one must lead some life beyond. Some life beyond means life after death. If you are not getting something in this life, it does not mean this is the end. Maybe in afterlife, life after death, you will get all the bliss that you have been rejected in this world. Have a bliss to die with. When we are dying, we are looking further with happiness that we are going to get something which we were not able to get in this life of ours. have a bliss to die with. You have some idea of happiness that if you die, you will get something much more better in the life after death. Dim described. Dim described, which is dimly seen, which is not understood by us, though it is planned by God. This foot, once planted on the goal, planted, placed, fixed. If we have attained whatever we wanted in this life, whatever was our goal, our objective, if we are getting everything in this life, this glory garland round my soul, this glory garland round my soul, joy of the achievement of my desire is enveloping my soul. It is just like a wreath or a garland, and I am feeling as if I am a celestial being rather than a human being. Could I describe such? Try and test. Could I describe such? Could I hope for a bliss in the life beyond? Could I have a bliss fit to die with? So he is saying that the last ride with his undertaking with his beloved is far much better than all the bliss that he can get in this life and the life after death. Try and test. Try and test. Try and find out for myself what is good for me. I sink back, shuddering from the quest. Shuddering, trembling. Quest, the pursuit. I sink back, shuddering from the quest. Quest for what? Quest means search. Search for happiness. If I keep on thinking that I will get some happiness in the later part of my life, maybe it will turn out to be good or not. Earth being so good, would heaven seem best? He's saying that when my beloved is beside me, it is just like a heaven for me. If I have failed to win her love in this life, maybe after death I will get her love. But for this moment, when I am traveling with her on a horse back, it is the heaven for me. Now heaven and she are beyond this ride. Both heaven and my love are not to be won in this life, as symbolized by this last ride. But he will get both these things in the life beyond death, he's saying. So, let me paraphrase it for you. He says that we human beings do not really know what is good for us. Even if fate had proposed happiness for us on the earth by giving the lover the union, the blissful union with the beloved, he might not have been satisfied with his lot. Even if he had accepted that proposal of fate, it would not have been good for him. A man must look to something best in life beyond that in heaven. He must hope that the greatest bliss and happiness was to come for him in heaven. If he had succeeded in gaining the love of his lady, he could not think of the heavenly happiness. Of course, the bliss of the next life is only dimly perceived by human beings, yet it is something which makes him happy and inspires him. One should not die without some sort of hope for one's next life. He's saying that his ambition was that he should get united with his beloved, but it was not able to be attained. So he thinks that if he is getting the chance for a ride with her, it is better for him because he will have something after death to cherish for. He's saying that others may search for supreme bliss in this world, but the very idea makes him tremble with fear. He can never dare to make such a quest. Heaven would be barren if he cannot look forward to attaining some bliss there. The attainment of his object in this life could make the earth a paradise. So, let us come to the next stanza. And yet, she has not spoke so long. What if heaven be that fair and strong? At life's best, with our eyes upturned, whither life's flower is first discerned, we fixed so ever should so abide. What if we still ride on, we too, with life forever old yet new, changed not in kind but in degree, the instant made an eternity, and heaven just proved that I and she ride right together forever right. And yet, till this time, when they are undertaking the ride with in the company of each other, she has not spoke so long. She sorry. She is riding very silently. She did not utter even a single word. What if heaven be that fair and strong? He's saying that what would happen if heaven becomes achievable for him? It will be heavenly pleasure for him if fair and strong. Fair here refers to the beloved because he is very much beautiful and strong for himself. He is saying that if they both are united, the beautiful lady and the strong guy, he himself, this will be very much blissful for him. At life's best, with our eyes upturned. At life's best, in the prime of life. In the prime of life here refers to the youthful age. With our eyes upturned, we are looking upward at heaven. Whither life's flower is best, is first discerned. Whither life's flower is first discerned, looking towards the sky, where men from earliest times has imagined heaven, the place where life reaches perfection. We fixed so. We are riding together, side by side. We are fixed in that position. Ever should so abide. So abide means remain. He imagines, suppose this situation remains forever and ever. What if we still ride on, we too? He imagines that suppose this moment in which we are traveling in the company of each other, it remains forever and ever. It goes on continuously, unchanged as it is. We too in the company of each other, with life forever old yet new. Life forever old yet new, the same old life continuing though becoming ever richer and fuller with the passing of time. The instant made eternity. The momentary happy life of the ride may be made eternal. And heaven just proved that I and she ride right together forever right. He is imagining that if this ride continues forever, it would prove to be the heaven itself if they are riding together in the company of each other. So, let me paraphrase it. Here in these lines, the writer says that his beloved is very much silent. She is not uttering even a single word. He then answers himself. He is saying that this ride with her is a great joy. It is quite heavenly to ride with her, neither speaking with her nor looking at her, but looking at the heaven above where living beings originally lived. The lover wishes that they may go on riding forever with their eyes upturned towards heaven. It is highly blissful. He wants this present moment to become immortal. He wants to go on riding with his beloved forever and ever. He knows that he will have to become old, but that does not matter. Even becoming old with her will be a joy. He does not want to die and become anything other than man, and thus get deprived of the happiness of riding with his beloved. He wishes that heaven may grant him an everlasting ride with her. Thank you all. The poem is completed, and the questions which are related to this poem I have already sent you in the form of PDF. So I hope that you will understand this poem, and even after that, if you have some problem, you can ask me anytime. Okay, thank you all.